And now let's talk about shoresh, root. So Hebrew is a root system language. So we saw that we have several verbs that can be applied into different binyanim, and they will give us different meanings or different moods or different tenses. So this is how the root system of Hebrew is being represented by the binyanim. So we have binyanim, and we're going to put different roots into the same binyanim that will give us maybe the same idea of a verb, but with a different mood or with a different tense. The Hebrew root system is the main building block of words. The root contains an image, an idea, but not a word. So shoresh, root, can be applied to nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, etc. And you might encounter a lot of words that have the same root. And this is actually a good idea on how to memorize words in Hebrew by knowing the root. For example, you know that the root chaf, taf, bet, which is lichtov, to write, and everything related to this root, everything that contains this root, it can be adjectives, nouns, verbs, adverbs. They will have the same idea of something that is written. So most Hebrew verbs have 3 root letters. The root is reflected as follows. X's mark the letters of the root in Hebrew. And this is how a root will look like, 3 letters separated by dots. So for example, let's take the root lamed mem daled. So lamed mem daled gives us an idea of studying, maybe a classroom, maybe teaching, maybe something. When we will apply it to binyan pa'al, and we know that binyan pa'al is a simple action, then the verb that we will receive is lilmod. And if we will apply it to binyan pl, and if we remember binyan pl is more intense than pa'al, and also has a non-coercive or laid-back interaction with another subject, it will be lelamed, to teach. Lilmod, to learn, this is the student's role. Lelamed, to teach, this is the teacher's role. So let's see another example. Chet zayin resh, a root that gives us an idea of coming back or returning. So if we will apply it to binyan pa'al, so as we remember, pa'al is a simple action, alone nobody is involved. The verb will be lachzor, to come back. When if we will apply it to binyan ifil, which is the most active binyan, the most influencing, the most intense, the most coercive action, it will be leachzir, to return something or someone. So this is an action I'm performing on someone. If we will take the root aleph chaf lamed that gives us an idea of consuming food, if we'll apply it to binyan pa'al, we know pa'al is a simple action, alone, nobody is involved, an active action. So it will be the verb le'echol, to eat something, a very individual action that a person is performing. If we will apply it to binyan hif'il, then we'll have an action that is more coercive, maybe a parental action like leha'achil, to feed. If we'll take the root lamed bet shin that gives us an idea of dressing up, of clothes, of wearing clothes, getting dressed or dressing up someone, then we can apply it actually to more than 2 binyanim. For example, if we will take binyan pa'al, which we remember is a simple action alone, nobody is involved, then we will apply it to lilbosh, to wear a particular clothing item. If we'll apply it to binyan hif'il, so hif'il, we remember it's either a parental action, a more coercive action, maybe sometimes a process-related verb, then we will receive the verb lehalbish, so it means to dress someone up. If we'll apply the same root into hitpa'el, and hitpa'el as we know it, it can be either a reflexive action, transitional action, or a mutual action. So we will receive the verb lehitlabesh, to dress up or to get dressed. If we'll apply the same root into binyan nifal, and as we know, lilbosh is to wear, but nilbash, it means that something was worn. So this is a very good example of one root that can be applied to several binyanim. The main idea will be the same, but the mood, the tense, and the intensity will be different. So a root is an idea applied to different binyanim will give us different verbs with different intensities and different levels of interaction with other subjects. Another example can be chaf taf bet, which can also be applied to different binyanim. Chaf taf bet gives us an idea of writing. So for example, pa'al, we remember it is a simple action alone, nobody is involved. So the action will be lichtov, to write. Hif'il is a more coercive action, a very intense action that we are performing. Maybe we're, influencing someone to do something, or we are acting in a very coercive action, so it will be leachtiv, to dictate. Hitpa'el, so hitpa'el, we remember that this binyan can be either a reflexive action, a transitional action, or a mutual action. So in that case, it will be actually a mutual action that we perform with another person, because lehitkatev is to correspond. And also we can apply it to nifal, and if we remember, nifal is the passive of pa'al. So lichtov is to write, but nichtav, it means that something was written. So therefore, one root that can be applied to several binyanim that will give us the same general idea, but different meanings, different moods, different tenses of the same root, the same idea. Excellent, guys. So I hope that you found this lecture educating. I am bringing up all of that just because we need to be familiar, at least to a certain extent, with the binyan system, because starting from next lecture, we're going to learn how do we actually apply all of this knowledge into finding the conjugation in the past tense in Hebrew. That's it for this lecture, guys. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.